reaction to the growers wanting to at least trial mechanical desiccation, the Mungbean agronomy team thought, well, there's actually no information out there for growers to mechanically swath mung beans now. We don't know what the timing is to do it is the most important thing. We don't know how they'll actually dry down in the paddock, and then most importantly, we don't know how that will actually impact on quality. So there's a lot of unknowns out there, but growers, the ones that just love getting in and trying new things, are just going full pelt into it. As a research team, we wanted to gain greater understanding around how the mung bean physiologically matured over time, and then if we cut it or sprayed it at different physiological maturities, how that actually impacted on its dry down and most importantly on its grain quality. Department of Agriculture and Fisheries Hermitage Research Station near Warwick. This trial is replicated in Emerald and also in Narrabri. We're looking at a whole range of different treatments. The research question is, if we can mechanically desiccate mung beans, how early can we desiccate them? Can we actually go get in and desiccate them earlier than what we can with our Roundup? Because of course we don't have the problem of the translocation of the herbicide. So the treatments we set up was that cutting, and we also then replicated that with spraying glyphosate at 30% physiological maturity. So that was when 30% of the pods on the plant had actually reached that yellow through to black pod phase. So that's what we call physiological maturity. And then the second lot of treatments was at 60% physiological maturity. That's actually our gut feeling of where we think might actually be this point where we can mechanically desiccate mung beans. And then the third set of treatments we put in was at the more traditional time at 90% physiological maturity. That's our current best management practice. So we've cut at 90% physiological maturity, and then we've also sprayed glyphosate at 90% physiological maturity. And the last treatment in that was our diquat treatment. So that's the other herbicide option that people do have for chemical desiccation. So this is a very intensive trial. This is probably one of the most intensive trials that I've had to carry out in my career. Why? There's so many different measurements that we're taking as part of this. So you can imagine we have treatments being implemented across time, across the different physiological maturities, and then once a treatment has actually been implemented on this mung bean crop at day 3, at day 7, at day 10, at day 14 and at day 21. So over time we're actually going into each plot, taking a sample of that biomass, and with that biomass we're doing two things with it. One is we're assessing the moisture content of that biomass. At that same point in time, we're taking a harvest cut as well. So we'll take biomass out of the paddock and we'll actually threshing it through a harvester to get an idea on this grain quality mainly, and also the types of harvest loss across each of those treatments. We've been really well supported from the Australian Mungbean Association with this project. And one of the most important questions that we have is the grain quality. As growers, it's about the yield, but ultimately to get the best possible price we can for our Australian mung beans, we need the best possible quality as well. So the Australian Mungbean Association has hopped on board and has offered us some support to help us assess that grain quality.